Okay, in this tutorial we're going to start where we left off in the last one. The competition has been scored, we've got to the results table, and we'll take a look at what we can do from here. Well, a good place to start is to look up along the top of the screen here, and it's worth keeping an eye on these lines as they will change, offering different options depending on how ICPro has been set up and indeed on what action we take next. So let's have a look at these, and we'll start with key 0 to blank screen. Now some users use ICPro to show digital images while at the same time showing conventional slides, all in the same competition. And they tell me it will be useful to be able to display a blank screen at this stage. So if we key a 0, it comes up with this, which says key enter to return, which disappears after a couple of seconds, and they've got their blank screen. To get back to the results, we just key enter again. Next thing along the top is key X to save and print. So we'll key X. And it's from here we can save and or print out those results. And if we save them, they're saved in an HTML format, which means that that file can be directly inserted into your club website. Shift S gives us something slightly different. It will still be saved as an HTML file, but all the image titles will have a hyperlink on them linking them with the images, and we'll see later how we can put that on your club website together with the images. But we'll just key S to save, and you can see it comes up in the top with a normal save dialog box, and it's already given it a file name, ICPro results 1. And 1 in this case is Pixet1, which of course we're using at the moment. And we can save that in the normal way. But I'll just cancel it for now. The next thing we can do is print out those results. And that's key P. And I'll key P. And if you do that, you should get your normal printer dialog box up, and it will print out the results. And I'll cancel that for now. And when we want to return to the results table, we key X. The next thing along the top is key R to exit the results. Okay, so we'll key R. Now if we do this, ICPro just asks us to make sure that's what we want to do. Either Y for yes or N for no. We're going to key Y for yes. And if we do that, it takes us back to our setup screen. But even if we do return to the setup screen, and we realise we want to see the results again, the data and images haven't been lost. We can easily return. So if we go down to Pixet1, we click there, it tells us that they've already been scored. We can key enter and we will return to the results table. The second line here starts with click title author to select an image. So let's select the arch, and I'll click on that. And two things have happened now. We've got a little green marker against the arch, which we've selected, and the options along the top here have changed. And what we can do here is key enter to view that image. So I'll key enter. And up comes the image of the arch. And when we've seen it, we just click enter again to return to the results table. I'll select that again. Next, it's key A to amend score. Now, in the unlikely event that you do want to change the score of any of the images, this is where you do it. So we've selected the arch, which is currently scored at 15, and we're going to key A. And up comes the picture together with an adjust score box. It tells us that the current score is 15, and it says key new score followed by enter. So let's say we wanted to give that 16, so I can key 1, 6 and enter. We then go back to the results table and the arch is now showing a score of 16. Now, more often than not, the competition secretary will ask us to give him a clear first, second and third place in the competition, and not like we got here where we got a first place and 2 equal second. And we can sort that out from this results table as well. The thing to remember here is that if we start doing this, we do have to reallocate first, second and third before it updates the table. So let's have a look at that. We'll click on Viglin Montage to select it, and we're going to place this one. And let's say we will place this one in second place. I'll key P to place. And up comes the picture together with an adjust position box at the top. Now this image, you'll remember, had 19 points. There was another image there which already had 20 points. So obviously we could not award this one first place. It tells you at the top you can key 1 for first place, 2 for second place and 3 for third place. But if I try and give this one first place and I'll key 1, you'll see nothing happens. Because it's an illegal move, this image cannot be put into first place. But because of the 19 points, it can be either second or third. And we're going to make it second, so I'll key 2. And we're asked to confirm that with a Y for yes or N for no, and I'll key Y for yes. And we then jump back to the results table, and you can see it says that that has been adjusted. So let's adjust Here Lies Jack next. We'll click on that to select it. P to place. And you'll see that second place now at the top has been greyed out because we've used it. And once again, this image has got 19, so it can't be put in first place. Key 1 and nothing will happen. So we key 3 for third place and Y to confirm that. OK, just one to go now, and that's full. We'll click on that, key P to place, and the only place left is first place. So we'll key 1 and Y for yes. And now we've placed all 3 positions, the table is updated to give the competition secretary their very clear first, second and third. Now another thing we can do here is to award certificates or highly commended. So let's say we want to give Beached a certificate. So we'll click on that to select it, and as it says at the top, key C to certificate. I'll key C. And it says certificate, yes or no, Y or N. And I'll say Y for yes. And you can now see that Beached has got a C against it to say it's been certificated. And if you want to use highly commended as well, you can click on any one of these. We'll say prayer wheels. For highly commended, we still use the C key. It says at the top right hand corner, certificate, yes or no. If I key C again, it will come up with highly commended, yes or no. And I'll say yes. And you can now see that Prayer Wheels has been given a highly commended. And highly commended is considered better than certificate, so it goes above Beached in the table. Now the final option along the top here is click Shift and Title Author to select a group of images. So let's try that. We're going to click on Full, and then I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on Here Lies Jack. And you can see it selected the 3 images here. We'll just have a look at that again. I'll get rid of them by clicking on that. We could select any group of images. We could click on Here Lies Jack, come down here and holding down the Shift key, click on Chipmunk, and it will select the images between those 2 marks. Let's get rid of those again. So we'll select Full, and we'll hold down the Shift key and select Here Lies Jack to select those 3. Now when we've selected a group of images, again we get different information along the top of the screen. We can click the little green square to get rid of the selection. Well, we've seen that. We can click C to certificate or to offer highly commended to all those items in exactly the same way as we've just seen a little earlier. The next one is key E to export the selection. Now this option allows us to export the chosen selection images and place them in an alternative pixet folder. This can be useful if you are using ImageCompro for a selection process. So you can cream off the top 25 perhaps, and then put them in another pixet and start the scoring process all over again. Let's just have a quick look at how that works. So I'm going to key E with those 3 images selected. And it asks us which pixet we want to put those 3 images in now. And let's put it in pixet 6 because we know that one is empty. I'll key 6. And that's it. It's now put them into pixet 6. And just to check that, we'll come out of this back to the setup screen by keying R and Y for yes. And you can see now, if you look in the current pixet and status options panel, under pixet 6, we got 3 images loaded in there. And they are the 3 images that we just selected, and we can now rescore them or do whatever we need to do for selection purposes. So let's return to that results table by clicking 1 and enter. We're back on the table. And let's again select 3 images, although before I click full and then here lies Jack to select those top 3, you can in fact just use the shift key and click any one below the top one and it will select all of those above it. And we're going to see this bit at the top here that says key enter to view the selection. And what this will do is give us an audio visual presentation of those selected images, just the 3 here. And it will do it in reverse order. And we're going to click enter, as we say. And you can probably hear there's a bit of music in the background, and there's all sorts of information coming up along the top of the screen. And you'll get the title, you'll get the author's name, and in the top left hand corner you will get the position of the image, and in the top right hand corner you will get the score. And when they played, the music will fade away and you'll go back to the results table. Now there's a button on the setup screen which allows you to set up that AV sequence to run exactly as you want it to, and we're going to look at that in a lot more detail in a later tutorial. OK, we'll key R to reset, Y for yes, back to the setup screen, and that's the end of that tutorial.